foundation of hard work. I didn't see it till this morning though, because I was thinking about it. I was like, man, like it just kept coming back to me when I realized that you clean when there's a mess. And so I took it as when life gets messy, you gotta clean it up. Right? When doubts get messy, you gotta clean it up. When a challenge gets messy, you gotta clean it up. When situations get messy, you gotta clean it up. When you start failing a class, you gotta clean it up. When you fail to get on the varsity team and you get rejected, you gotta clean it up. And so that foundation of cleaning taught me something. That Caleb, every single time something is messy for you in life, it's not something that you see as rejection, but it's something that you gotta see as an opportunity to learn. And so I found new ways of cleaning. Right? Like some of us, like the Windex don't work for us, so we gotta use something else. I find it funny how there are people like me, right? The young cats who wanna, go somewhere like that, this crazy ambition. When they first start doing something that, they have their why attached to, their purpose attached to, they're feeling confident, they're feeling, pumped with all this energy. Right? But like I said, when they hit traffic and they face a certain situation, they don't want to do it anymore. Right? So I believe that there's certain times where people use life not as their inspiration, but as their expiration. Meaning that like they don't see life as an inspiration anymore, like I see it. They don't see life as a gift anymore, like I see it. Like just how athletes leave everything on the court, just like how I left everything on the track when I was an athlete, I do the same thing for life because I don't know if I'm going to see tomorrow. I don't know the next time I'm going to be standing up here to speak to y'all. So every single time I come up here, I speak my whole heart out. I don't care if there's 5 people, if there's 1 person, I know that 1 person needs to hear me and that's all I need. See, there are times that we're going to fall down. Like I said, we're going to lose a lot of battles before we win the war. We're going to lose a lot of battles. But going back to cleaning, my parents always taught me, there's a mess, you clean it up. So when you lose a battle, you clean it up. Clean up your scars, you clean up your wounds, and you keep moving forward. As I bring my message to a close, I just want to remind every single one of you guys that whatever you do in life, whatever situation or challenge that we're about to face, and I don't know what it is, I tell you guys every single time I look in the mirror, it forces me to work harder every time. I see my mom going to work and coming home late, working double shift, it forces me to work harder every time. I see my dad stressing out because my dad's working on his PhD and he has a full-time job already. He has, 4 kids that he has to look after. He's an elder in the church, so every time I see my dad stressed, it forces me to work harder. Every time I see my family back in Africa, struggling, it forces me to work harder. And so every time I look in the mirror, just when I think I'm working my hardest, I know that I can do better because there's something in me that needs to be working on the outside of me. Right, so when I talk about fighting the good fight, now you're fighting 3 opponents. You're fighting your physical opponent, you're fighting the mental opponent, and then you're fighting the audience. Every single day, you got to be on guard. Right, there's one thing that my dad taught me. He said, Caleb, when you're driving, you got to be defensive. Meaning you're not only watching the car that's in front of you, but you're watching the cars on the sides, and you're watching the car on the back. So I think if we could just live every single day as a defensive player, as a defensive life, just maybe, our defensive weapons will prevail. Thank you guys for your time.